Pull up a stool and pour yourself a pint as you're about to join three intrepid drinkers, Kevin, Justin, and Mark, as they embark on another Beertastic voyage.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Beertastic Voyage. My name is Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Okay.
Hi, Justin.
I'm over here.
He's over there.
Hi, I'm Justin.
That's Justin. What a... Fuck. Anyway.
Mark does it again.
Mark's an evil villain. He's just there to throw wrenches into our monkey systems,
Oh,
stuff like that.
That speaking of things that other podcasts that we both listen to.
Yeah.
Are you listening to Ridiculous History as well?
I am not listening to Ridiculous
Okay.
History.
Then never mind.
The main reason why is because in all their promos that I've heard for them, they're talking about things that I've learned about in other
House of Works.
House of Works I've heard about. And I love the House of Works systems, like the whole network, but they're starting to get a little redundant on too many fronts. So I'm like, I don't need to hear that again. But food stuff is my current new.
I enjoy food
It's
stuff.
my current new jam. Those
I in fact emailed
Lauren
them.
and Annie are my podcast.
I
hosts
emailed them
currently.
earlier in the week because I was like, can you do something about the volume levels between the podcast proper and the sponsors?
Yeah, it is a terrible volume. But it is terrible in that sense, like the volume jump.
Like the podcast proper is like at a volume level of 3, so you crank up.
Oh, so
speakers.
it's like old school commercials before they
Yes.
put FCC regulations in?
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah, and then when they go to an ad break, it's like,
Bah!
you're like, oh my god.
Yes, ears burning. I swerve in the lane.
Hulu does that sometimes. It's actually the reverse though. The ads will be very quiet, and stuff will turn up like the ad at the beginning of the show.
I honestly haven't picked up on it.
And then I've only had Hulu for all of 3 days, so maybe my sample size is small, so it might not happen again. But yeah, similar thing.
Maybe it's just her Real Housewives. Filth.
Oh, maybe could be.
Anyway,
It's not like I'm not.
Everybody got depressed when you said Real Housewives.
I'm not botting anything from Bravo, so that might have something. To
Oh,
do
okay.
with it.
so today we are going to revisit
I am
Greenport
not
Harbor.
watching what happens next.
You don't care what happens next.
Oh, Bravo, yeah.
Today we're going to revisit Greenport Harbor, and we're not going to do any of their crazy specialty stuff today, but rather I grabbed 3 of their offerings that you can find in pretty much any supermarket on Long Island.
Yep.
We have their Title Lager, the Harbor Ale, and the Other Side IPA. And we wanted to give you a little bit more of a sample of some of the ones that are readily available, that you don't have to make the trek all the way out to, at minimum, Peconic, and if not Greenport, to go get them. So we're going to start off with the Title Lager, and they say that there's no holding back the tide, nor will you want to. Our first lager, Title, with a deep golden hue, promises a light malt sweetness, subtle floral hop flavor, and a crisp finish that, like the tides, will leave you thirsting for its return again and again.
I haven't tasted it yet, but just from the aroma, it's not subtle.
No. Yeah, I have tasted it. It is also not subtle.
This is India Pale Lager to me.
Yeah.
Like just from the aroma.
Yeah. I get a little bit of a sulfury aroma too, which is obviously somewhat common in a lager. But it
Yeah.
also could be really, really more of the hop character than sulfur. But they're similar.
Yeah, I could see it being taken as a sulfur.
I lost my coaster.
Oh, yes.
I blame Justin. He probably did it. He probably needed to shim the board again.
Yeah. Or a wobbly board.
No, definitely the aroma is aggressive. Aggressive in that.
Yeah. Flavor. Yeah.
I have no other words for it, but that it's a very forward aroma.
This is definitely an
This is
IPL.
it's definitely an IPL.
It's a very, very hop forward
It
lager.
is.
It's not. I would not deem it crisp and clean.
No, it is crisp,
I'm sorry.
but it is also very dank.
Yeah. Clean. Not clean.
Yeah. Justin, would you be able to Google Foo? If maybe we can find what hops they use in this.
I can Google food away.
But this almost reminds me of some of the imported German lagers that I did not like. I don't know, just some of the ones that, like, when I first started drinking beer, I'm like, no, I don't like the taste of this beer. No, this beer doesn't taste good. Or at least German style lagers. I shouldn't say German particularly. That being said, I know a lot of people that would get on board this and drink the hell out of it.
Huh.
Um,
I'm working.
Mainly my dad's best friend Joe. He would
Oh.
love this beer. He'd be all on this. But yeah, there's that little bit of a there's a dankness to it.
Yeah, it definitely has a dankness. I would say the bitterness, like the bitterness level, is definitely assertive, but it's not quite ridiculous West Coast level.
No, it's definitely. I mean, especially when you get, when you're being served a lager and you're anticipating, something along the lines of a macro, or at least something that's just, clean all around. It definitely goes outside those bounds. Like, it's outside of the bounds of what your mouth is getting ready to take in.
Yeah, this is not a good gateway beer for a large audience.
Yeah, I understand that, but I think also I think it's also I think it's when you get if you had a bunch of people that are really like, oh well, I like IPAs, and they don't want to buy something with the word lager in the title, that you could handle this one and they go after this one.
Yeah, I just have a general overall problem with the IPA-ification of every beer style.
Yes.
I cannot find out what hops there
Okay.
is. I can only get descriptions of the hop character as being noble, which I can kind of be down with. It's pretty earthy. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't call them green. It is dank to an extent, but I just think it's volume of hop character, not necessarily the green ones.
Yeah, it's not
It's not piney.
It's not piney. It's not resinous.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't have like the grass thing going on.
Yeah, no, but it's very dank. It's like a half step below like the abhorrent like hop bite
that
I detest so much.
Yes.
Like I don't quite get that like hop crunch, but it's pretty damn close to it.
As I settle into it, and I know what I'm drinking. I don't mind it. It's not like an offensive beer to me. It's just not. If I'm personally going to order a lager, this isn't the direction that I'm trying to go in.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
I agree. To order a lager and get this in the glass, I would be a little disappointed.
That being said, if you're into hoppy beers and you want to try something that's a little bit has less of a sweet backbone to it than an IPA usually does, then this would be right up your alley.
The smell of it really reminds me of Heineken.
Really?
Yeah, I definitely
And
can see
that's
that.
yeah, and that's
you're right.
and that's why I was mentioning my dad's buddy Joe. Like, I just remember like always growing up, like he was always that guy that's like, oh, I love Heineken. I'm always drinking more Heineken, more. And of course, once you start being to the point, like, yeah, I'm gonna take a beer out of the cooler. I don't care. I'm 15. Fuck you, man. Like you take on, and I'm like, this smells terrible. This tastes bad. Why do they drink this crap? Oh, that's why, because it makes me feel like this.
After 3 of these, I want 3 more.
Yeah, but it just
I never understood what an acquired taste meant.
yeah. But
until I
this,
started drinking beer.
but that smell, like that smell, like as soon as I put my nose in there, I'm like, oh my god, it's that kind of beer.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I'm gonna hit the ratings off. I could lean to a pint, but I'm gonna keep it at a tasting just because it doesn't. To me, I don't mind the beer. It's not what I want in a lager.
How about you, Mark?
I mean, I agree with you, Justin, but I would give it the pint. I don't detest it. I just don't enjoy it, so I'm gonna have that one, and then I'm gonna move on to one of their other offerings that I enjoy, like the Black Duck Porter.
Yes. Which also, by the way, Black Duck Porter, that's one you can get around.
Yeah,
So
that
that's
one is
one of the ones
readily
we've had before.
Yeah, that one or
So,
the the other one that I enjoy a lot that sees wide distribution is one of the seasonals, the Behave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the
Behave,
Behave a lot. It's still not the great and powerful leaf pile.
Leaf piles gets around during that time of year too.
That's
It's
true.
just not something you're going to get right now. And if you are, snatching.
Yeah, I mean, it's early. My bad.
Don't worry about it.
It's early enough in the winter season still that you probably still find some 6-packs of leaf pile.
Yeah, you
Chill
might find
out
it at a
somewhere.
beer distributor, but in the supermarket. They're off the shelf by now. The next one that we're going to is the Harbor Ale, and I particularly love the artwork on the Harbor Ale. How it has the humpback whale with like the house on the back of it, and every time I see it, I'm reminded of like a Terry Pratchett novel.
Oh yeah.
Like
okay.
because the whale is floating above the water, and it's got this big barn kind of thing on its back, and it just reminds me of like the turtle and the everything
great,
along that. Yeah, the 4 elephants standing on the back of the turtles that hold the flat Discworld, right?
What is it? The turtle's name is Altuin or something like that.
I don't remember that. But right, that is Terry Pratchett, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and there's the one book called The Fifth Elephant.
Yeah.
It was the whole mythos where like there used to be 5 elephants, but then one of them crashed into the disc, and like, the Triacle mines are supposedly like its remnants that they're like mining from the earth.
Gotcha. Do you have any idea what we're talking about, Justin?
No, I literally
Justin
I just passed out.
like,
I just passed out. I brought up midget porn and decided that I would just roll with that.
All right, that was a good 2 minutes of your life. Then.
Yeah. I heard.
So the Harbor Ale.
Speaking of whales floating in the air, though, like the thing that I think of is the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes, that I'm on board with. That I'm
There you
down.
go. So for Harbor Ale, we can.
Petunias thought, "Oh no, not again."
The ale reflects the harbor village where it has been brewed. Bold, resolute, modest. This American ale will be ready at the end of any task worth completing. Handcrafted to yield balanced drinkability and a distinct variety of food pairing opportunities.
See, this is far less dank than the lager. This is
Yeah, I like it.
It's more floral and citrusy.
Good malt.
Yeah, in the aroma, I definitely get a good floral note in there, which I like.
Yeah.
Those are usually the hops that I'm interested in.
And that's a good point, Justin. It's got a good malt backbone, as the common language says.
This is good.
Yeah, I enjoy this. I can't believe that I've never had this before, just because you're around craft beer as much as we are. Obviously, I'm tend to drink the wacky stuff, but
Right.
This is a good.
Well, I mean, aside from that,
beer.
usually I see like American Pale Ale. I'm like, all right, I'm probably not gonna like that one. What else do you got?
Yeah, no, this.
Do you have anything browner?
Yeah. No, I can see why this beer is a flagship kind of beer. Like for a craft brewery to have a beer like this on tap that is almost a prerequisite. Like you have to have a little bit more golden colored beer that you can hand to patrons and say, here this is, enjoy this, because this is really good. I like this.
Yeah, I get the I'm hit with malt right away, and then basically the hops do what they're supposed to do, and they clean the back end. They balance everything.
Yeah, the bitterness is not excessive.
Right. No, not at all. I think it's really, it's interesting. The thing that I'm interested in, and is kind of in my perception of it, is would I like this if you handed this to me first, or is it just that I'm enjoying it a lot more because it's coming down off the title lager, which was much more hoppy.
Right.
So I'm wondering if I'm enjoying it more, but like if in other situations, if I just had this one, would I think like, oh, do I really like it? And I'm gonna say yes, because I think it's a nice floral aroma in the beginning of it, which tends to, and it's got that malty backbone that you guys both mentioned, to have that little bit of bread feeling to it that gives it a little bit of nice malt in there.
Yeah, and it's got a hint of caramel as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very well balanced. Just all around like solid drink beer.
Yeah, this is just a really tasty beer, and I see like what they're going for here seems to be like that beer that you can have at any time. End of the day beer. You want to have one beer with dinner. You want to have a beer at the barbecue. Like it seems to be like no matter what, you grab the 6 of this and you're all right. I think they hit the head on that one.
Yeah, it definitely pairs well with others.
Yes, this is our this would be our Bud Light essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this is the one that you grab, and if you brought it to a barbecue, no one's angry that this one shows up.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Mark is
he's keeping going. I
yes.
understand. I was just going to plow right over that.
Yeah, you should. You should do that. It's necessary.
Hey.
Hey,
Plow right over it.
that's what she said.
You get it?
Hey,
Get it?
So as far as the rating goes, I'm gonna give it a bomber. I mean, I want to have it around. I don't know that I'm gonna always drink two of them in a row, but
Yeah.
having it chilling out is definitely worthwhile.
I would see myself drinking this with a meal, like having these with dinner. Like that's what I want to do, and I'd probably go down with two of them also. So I'm gonna reiterate your bomber. I think that's the spot for it for me. How about you, Mark?
I'm gonna stick at just the pint,
Right.
and that's only because I'll enjoy the pint, but I don't want that second one.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I think on some days I would absolutely agree with you, and maybe and then tomorrow I would disagree with you and say I want more of it. But I think we're all pretty much in agreement that it's a solid beer. I'm surprised that I don't remember having it. I probably did have it at some point, but I'm surprised that I don't remember it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's, I've seen it everywhere. I mean, so it's probably most of the reason why I didn't get it, or previously, because I can get that everywhere.
Yeah.
So you end up, you move on to that thing.
I mean, there's a fairly good chance that I've had it as part of the flight in the tasting room, but it's just been because
what else do I add to the flight?
Exactly.
Right.
And I probably just threw it back real quick because I paid for it.
You're like
gonna waste it.
You're like interlude.
Yeah. Here's three really interesting beers. It's a flight of 4. Give me the Harbor Ale.
So this last one I'm very interested in, especially based on the other two. We have one American Pale Ale that was good, nice, solid, malty, and then we had the lager that was a little more dank, and now we're actually going to pour a straight up IPA.
Right.
The other side IPA, which also has my personal favorite artwork, which is the striped bass and the upside down.
Yeah, I like that.
And this is pre Stranger Things. So.
Right. So it looks like it's floating above the water like anything, but they did the water on top and everything else is upside down.
The fish is dead.
Well, the fish is definitely robotic. It's like metal. It looks like
it's a steampunk fish.
Yeah, like steampunk robot fish. It's kind of funky.
Yeah, I like this one.
It is cool looking though,
especially because the striped bass is like my spirit animal.
And I really want to know who does their artwork for their labels because I really enjoy their work.
Yeah, it's definitely the same artist doing all of them.
Yeah, they're all in the exact same style. Well, at least their core series. I don't know if they ever venture out from that.
No, even the seasonals like Leaf Pile and Behave, it's definitely the same.
Yeah, I've seen the bee that they have, the bee with the
and the Leaf Pile is the guy in the old timey diving suit.
Yeah. So it's I think it's all the same artist, and I really appreciate his or her work. It's really nice looking.
I would have to say that color wise, all three of these beers are if not exactly the same SRM, pretty damn close.
Yeah, well, this one's actually the only one that's relatively hazy.
I would say they go from 3 to 5.5, and that's about it.
Exactly.
Right. I don't even know if 5.5 might be a little too dark. But yes, Justin, there definitely is a hop haze on this. I wonder how many times it gets dry hopped.
Aroma-wise, when you're getting
citrus hops,
yeah,
it smells like citra.
I'd be shocked if there wasn't citra in there.
Let's see if the bottle has any info. While the creation of this beer is geographically located in a small brewery at the far end of Long Island, its spiritual location resides deep within the distinct layers of floral and citrus hop additions. A place we call the other side. All right.
Maybe they're doing
less
that.
than useful, but mention that floral and citrus hops.
I'm wondering if other side, when they made, when this came out, which was a while ago, when they first debuted the beer.
Yeah.
Back then, I think everything was the dank, resinous type hop going on. Maybe the other side is basically this is floral and citrus.
Possible.
Because it does have a somewhat New England IPA quality to it.
It is, but it's too bitter to be a New England IPA.
Right. I just mean that it's kind of bridges that gap between those two things.
Yeah, I get it's definitely citrus in the flavor, and then it's just followed up by an aggressive bitterness that is not my bag.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm not gonna seek it out, but it's not that I would have no problem drinking a bit of it. It does build though. That hop bitterness stays behind and builds as you drink. I'm not usually a fan of that.
It lingers on the palate for sure. Oh, shell.
This one's a little interesting to me. I'm not quite. I'm not turned off by the amount of hops in it. I liked floral and citrus hops. I've mentioned that numerous times, but I'm not enthralled with the beer enough that I'm like, I want to keep drinking this. I want to experience the flavor of it. I want more of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some good malt sweetness to it, but the bitterness is just, I don't know, 15 IBUs past where I find anything enjoyable.
No, it's weird. It just seems to be just escaping me of like where I want it to be. Like it's the start of something that if this was a beer that I was making, I would take this version, I would taste it, and I'd be like, all right, this isn't bad, but I need to add something else to it. I need a little more, and I'm not sure what that is yet. I'm gonna keep
Fish sauce.
No, it's not a crock pot.
Gochujang.
Why are you cursing at me?
Miso.
Yes.
By the way, for everybody who doesn't know, which is all of you, these are all things that Mark puts into everything except for breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah, just.
It does.
I got more shrimp fry paste.
I'm gonna say it doesn't need any of those. I'm fairly comfortable saying that. I'm more of a Worcestershire kind of guy.
Also banana ketchup.
You shut your mouth.
Fuck you. That's all I can say about ketchup is fuck you.
I don't know. I'm gonna try another sip of it and see what I think about it and see if I can place what I'm trying to go with. But Justin, do you have any other thoughts on it as you finished your sample?
I really think that this is like the beginning of the idea of a New England IPA. I agree. The bitterness and the lingering that sits behind it's firmly outside of that. It's not like you would ever mistake it for that.
Yeah.
But the very beginning of the sip is like right on point. The citrus, and if it were a little bit thicker of a mouthfeel, it would start to get a little bit juicy. It's really interesting that you look back on a beer that's been around for a while and kind of see this newfangled thing in it already. I don't know. I'm going to give it a pint. I'm probably not going to go out of my way to find it, but if I'm somewhere and I got a choice between your standard macros and this, I'm still going back to this.
How about you, Mark? Your eyes are rolling over into the back of your skull like you're thinking too hard.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I was just contemplating Justin's last statement there, and I'm not. I think if I was given the choice between Bud Light, Heineken, or this, I'd order a White Russian.
Okay. Well, I was going.
Occasion, Gary.
I was going outside of the concept. I was not going to have a beer. Like if I'm having a beer, that's I'm still going to do that. If I have other options, I don't know what I would do. It can't be unlimited here.
You know who mixes an awesome White Russian?
Who's that?
Tony.
Really?
Yes.
He really does know how to pour a really good White Russian.
I can't drink White Russians.
Yeah.
The viscosity of what's going on there.
There was a time.
I can only think of every time I've had one, all I can think to myself is this is what it feels like to really work for a living.
There was a time where I would go to whatever bar Tony was working at, and he would pour me White Russians in a pint glass.
Oh my god, it's fucked up.
And it was so good. So good.
I was there with you for at least a third of them.
Yes, you were. We'd be sitting there, Mark,
Drinking
pizza, just hanging out.
Doing my statistics homework.
Yeah, Mark was doing homework. I was
barbecued.
Mark was doing statistics homework. I was grading papers, and Tony's just mixing his drinks.
That's awesome.
Good times.
Yeah.
So you're having a beer. Like I have to go back to my conundrum here. You can't have a White Russian. It doesn't exist. They all died. What do you like?
Let me out of this.
I might have a Bud, honestly.
All right, that's fine. I just wanted to know an answer. That's cool.
I'm gonna give it a pint. Just I don't detest it, but it's not something where I'm like, I really like that. I want another one.
No, I stand behind that statement firmly. I'm good with that.
What about you, Kevin?
I'm really intrigued by Justin's idea of this being a proto New England IPA. I just really like that, like in my head, of the concept of like, hey, here it is, this perfect spot where you can say like, here's the beginning of this. They tried to do something like this, and now that thought has kind of like welded its way into my brain, and I can't get it out. And so now it's like, well, this is a bad New England IPA.
Oh, really?
But it's not. I know it's not, and I know that's not what it's trying to be. I like the floralness. I like the citrus. I think it's a good start. I'm gonna give it a pint. I'll have it. I'll have a pint of it. but I'm going to move on afterwards. But I feel like if they kept going a little bit more, I'd enjoy it even more. Like I'm gonna take the beer and ask them for more of the hops that they actually put in there. I want it more. Turn this into a New England IPA with this flavor. I'll be happy with it.
Add some oats. Or I tell you what.
Well, I don't want them to do it like on that front. Like the only thing that I want them to do is reduce the bittering addition.
Yeah.
Like cut the bittering addition in half, and yes, I'm in.
You bittering addition in half and add in like
little wheat,
I would say like 8% flake notes.
Add a little oat, add a little wheat to it or something like that to kind of give it a little body.
Yeah.
Would be interesting. But I can absolutely see why this is one of those ones that's readily available, because I can see how people would jam on this beer a lot. But for me, it's going to be a pint.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's interesting. This has been an interesting session where we find, a couple different beers that aren't really the style that we go after. So the lager, I was surprised by it, how strong the hop characteristic was in that.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to be that dank.
But I'm very, very pleased by the Harbor Ale that we found. So
yeah, that was a surprise to me.
The Harbor Ale is kind of like it's kind of like, you know what? Hey, you know what? You are kind of cool. I think I want to hang out with you a little bit more. Like it's the new friend that I made today. Harbor Ale is my new friend beer that I made today. Like, I'm happy to have it. Now and be like, yeah, you're cool. I like you. We can hang out. Any other final thoughts here, Justin?
Not about. I have something else, but not about Greenport. I just wanted to see if Mark had anything left on these beers. I have another item that popped up while we were recording, so we'll see how well this goes. It's
not about the midget porn you were watching before, is it?
Only marginally.
Is it that cool video with with Morgan Freeman and Peter Dinklage of advertising the new Doritos at Mountain Dew?
Doritos, yeah.
Where they're spitting fire from the wraps? Like, that's actually pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see that commercial tonight, but no, that's not it. We're obviously recording this on Super Bowl Sunday, and that's going to become apparent in a second.
And now the NFL is going to sue us.
Yes, that's
true. I'm sorry.
Super Bowl,
the
Super
big
Bowl,
game.
Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. If the NFL can sue us, we will be the largest beer podcast on the planet. Super Bowl, Super Bowl.
The big game.
Yeah. All right.
In my pants.
Oh boy. All right. On that note, two of you might have known this, but I didn't.
Yeah,
Blue Point is releasing a Olympics beer for the Winter Olympics.
Yes, I did know that.
No, I did not know that.
It is a golden ale that actually has real gold flakes added to the kettle.
They put Goldschlager in the.
I did not read up on it.
They put Goldschlager in the kettle.
Apparently.
Are we living in Dubai?
It's called O-Lim Pick.
Pick it right.
O-H Lim, like my arm flopping. Pick,
yeah.
Like I pick my nose. Sorry, this is better.
Yeah.
Beer. That's a fucking great name.
Lim Pick
beer.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any other it's got gold flakes in it?
It's a golden ale that has real gold flakes in it. So that's the jam. The quote from the Blue Point spokesperson is, "The golden ale has real gold flakes added to the kettle. So if you're anything like our brewers, you can skip the gym and still bring home the gold."
My question is how much gold can I?
Can you mine out of it?
Yeah, like
he's gonna be some asshole with like a 12-pack of it, fucking panning in his driveway. I saw this shit on Discovery Channel.
Well, I'm still gonna drink the beer first, but I'm curious.
What are you gonna do? You gonna pick through your shit afterwards?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Like
spin that shit through a centrifuge. The gold is going to be the heaviest thing. It's going to fall to the bottom.
That's the only time that sentence, "spin that shit through the centrifuge," has ever been said where shit was not like Smurf. Where shit wasn't just for the stuff. It was literally shit in the centrifuge.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
There you go. Will it be worth the effort? That's what I want to know. How much gold per milliliter?
Do you know what's funny? I bet you it matters on whether or not you've got the bottom or the top of the bright tank. Because it's going to settle.
Probably, yeah.
I can't imagine that they would.
The fucking Willy Wonka.
I can't imagine that it would sit in the bright tank. Like, I feel like you would add it to the boil.
I want to see a picture of it.
I feel like through the filter it would get caught up, and
I have no idea.
And probably resold to.
Unless it looks like I'm drinking like a glass of. Unless it looks like I'm drinking a lava lamp, I'm not interested.
Well, it'll be on sale next Friday, February 9th. the start of the Olympics. So
Yeah,
next Friday's the one we're recording. So by the time you hear this, it's out. And I'm going to grab some whenever I see it.
This is going to come out the week after that.
Yeah. So by the time it'll already be out. That's what he said.
There you go.
I don't think that's what you said.
That is what he said. You're wrong, Mark.
Listeners, email in and tell Mark's wrong.
Yeah. Just say the words, Mark is wrong.
Actually, if you could breathe heavily into our phone line and say that at the same time, that would be...
It's a voicemail.
It'd be like a twofer for me. So yeah, anyway, that's going to come out. It'll be... that'll be pretty cool. I'm definitely going to get some. We'll pour it in. We'll see what our poop looks like afterwards. It'll be awesome.
Love and
check our Instagram for pictures of the beer, not my poop.
And the poop gold. But if you want to call us and let us know about it, send a message to 631-605-7240.
Yep.
Leave us a voicemail. Let us know what you think. If you've had any of the Greenport Ale beers that we had today, or how how gold flakes in your poop have affected your life, let us know that as well.
Maybe it'll be like that Burger King put out that made everybody's poop green.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. What was that? The blackout burger.
Yeah. It was all the bud was black.
Yeah. There's the whatever coloring agent was used in the bud.
I can say that I can confirm that was a real thing.
There you go. I don't know how to follow that up. I really don't.
It's hard to follow green poop.
Green poop is the way to finish up this episode then.
Yes. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Cheers.
Take care of yourselves and each other.
If you enjoyed Beertastic Voyage, please be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to review and rate us. The guys can be found online at www.beertasticvoyage.com, on Facebook at www.facebook.com/beertasticvoyage, and Twitter and Instagram at Beertastic Show, or send them a good old-fashioned email at beertasticvoyage@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers for local beers.